Excited to have our first webinar here on AI and blockchain and how it's shaping industries and how it can transform your business as well. Before I get started, I wanted to just give a little bit of ground rules here where I'm going to be going through it's going to be about 20 minutes. I'm going through some presentation slides, and then we're going to open the floor to questions that people can put into the chat, which is at the bottom right-hand corner of the webinar. So you can put your questions that you want to ask here. So let me get into this. So I just want to give a quick overview of what we're going to be covering. First and foremost, Troon Technologies. Just a little bit of overview of us. We help our customers digitally transform utilizing technologies like AI and blockchain to basically enter in the next world of finance to new business models out there. And today's webinar, we'll be breaking down these technologies to show you how real companies are using blockchain and AI, and most importantly, give you a clear roadmap of how you can utilize these technologies. So let's dive into what I want to talk about. So why would you want to transform with AI and blockchain? What's the big deal? Well, I can tell you, I've been in technology for over 30 years, and I have never seen two technologies advance as quickly as blockchain and AI, especially AI in the last 2 years. With the advent of ChatGPT, now people are seeing real world cases where they can use AI. In blockchain, you can see that in cryptocurrency, and if you've been following any of the news out there, crypto has been definitely taking off a lot more in the last few months, especially with Trump getting in there because he's very crypto friendly. Now, the companies that embrace AI and blockchain aren't just gaining efficiencies, they're also creating new entire business models. So as an example of this is Spotify. Now, if any of you use Spotify or any of the other engines, like I use YouTube Music, is that they don't only suggest music, but they also shape the global listening trends using AI. You know, when deploying blockchain, and when you look at companies like Walmart, they're deploying blockchain by tracking their supply chain and creating trust and efficiency in that supply chain. Now, studies show that when you deploy AI, you can boost productivity by 40%, while in blockchain, it ensures unmatched transparency and security. The question isn't should you adopt AI and blockchain, it's how fast you can adapt it before your competitors do. The common saying in the AI world, which is AI is not going to replace you, but someone that is using AI is going to. And that's a fairly common refrain there, and all industries are being disrupted with AI and blockchain. Now, when I mention artificial intelligence, just let me give you a high-level breakdown of what I mean by artificial intelligence. At its core, it's about enabling machines to mimic human intelligence. It includes machine learning, natural language processing, and predictive analytics. Now, businesses that are using AI, they're using this to enhance their customer experiences, automate repetitive tasks, and extract actionable insights from their data. A great example of that are AI agents. Now, we actually have this at Troon as well, where we're deploying AI agents on people's websites to provide 24/7 customer service. It also improves customer satisfaction and reduces costs. So that's just one example there. Let me give you a case study here. Now, Netflix, most people are familiar with using Netflix. I use it pretty much every day. My kids do all the time. And I don't know if you've noticed, but the recommendation engine has been getting pretty darn good. You know, I'm a big fan of Jason Bourne movies, and whenever I watch one of those Jason Bourne movies, the next day I get recommendations on other movies that are similar to Jason Bourne movies out there, assassination movies. Now, what's going on behind the scenes is Netflix is actually not just taking my personal preferences, but they're also modeling it with people's preferences as well. So other people that like Jason Bourne movies, they also intermix that and serve up possible viewing of particular movies out there. So that's just one example of that. Now, this AI personalization of technology, it not only boosts customer engagement, but it drives significant revenue growth for Netflix. Now, I want to map that personalization experience, mapping that onto now for your business. What if you could deploy AI into your business that has personalization for your website, for your sales, for your marketing team, that can anticipate your customer's need before they even ask? That's actually the power of AI, and you have that at your disposal. Now, I just talked about a big company in Netflix, and it's a big company. It's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, I think maybe even billions. That doesn't mean that you can't deploy this technology now. Personalization and AI is coming to your doorstep, and there's tools out there right now for personalization. Moving on to blockchain, let me just quickly give a high level description of blockchain. It's a distributed ledger technology that creates secure, transparent, and tamper-proof records. I like to call it just a big trust machine. So basically, it allows basically a transaction to go on the blockchain, and it becomes immutable on the block, where you cannot mess with it. And that's actually a really big key with, especially with our data today that is getting hacked all over the place. So some of the areas where this is impactful is in industries like supply chain management, where tracking goods and ensuring authenticity is critical. Another example of where blockchain is being deployed is in fintech, in particular in decentralized finance, or called DeFi, where DeFi use smart contracts to facilitate transactions in real time, compared to the traditional finance world, where a transaction sometimes takes 2+ days and you have a middleman to settle those transactions. In the DeFi world, everything is 24/7, 365 days a year, and transactions are basically facilitated in seconds due to the blockchain technologies. So by automating trust blockchain eliminates efficiencies and reduces fraud. Now, an example of a customer of ours that is utilizing blockchain technology is Vesta Equity. It's a very innovative company run by Michael Carpentier, who's the founder there. And what they have done is they are turning real estate on its head. You're getting a glimpse into the future of real estate. So Vesta Equity, what they do is they enable homeowners to tokenize their home equity, turning their property value into tradable digital assets. What this means is that the homeowner can access cash from their property without loans, while investors can actually buy small shares in the real estate using blockchain. So what this does is it removes the actual banks and the middleman, and making the process simpler and way more transparent. Now, other real estate examples that we're coming across as well is in tokenizing timeshares, apartment buildings, and even commercial developments. So you're seeing one of the biggest industries in the world in real estate being disrupted and changing due to blockchain technology. So the power of integration, the power of blockchain with AI is a really special thing. And I say this in a way because this has been a long time coming. Another way I like to put it is that AI predicts and blockchain verifies. So when combined, these technologies unlock amazing new business models. And just I wanted to give you a couple examples of things that we're seeing today. Okay, one that happened back in November of 2024 was an amazing event that happened. Now, this is on the frontier of technology. Now, in the crypto world, there are these agents, these autonomous agents that are basically exchanging crypto with one another. So these are autonomous agents that do not have any human involvement. They're created by a human, but then basically they're left out there. They can make their own decisions out there. And back in November, they had, I think it was registered as the first autonomous agent, basically hired another autonomous agent to create an image or a diagram for their token, and how they got paid for that that diagram was actually having crypto paid for, I think it was for 10 stable coins. So what that is basically you have AI agents working on the blockchain, basically exchanging crypto. So they're using blockchain for the actual facilitation of the transaction. Another area where AI and blockchain are being combined is in healthcare. AI can process patient data securely on the blockchain and safeguarding, and then safeguards the privacy and ensures the data integrity of the patient data. Another area, as I mentioned before, is in DeFi, which is the AI agents can autonomously trade assets, optimize investments, and manage portfolios directly on the blockchain. Troon is involved with a company called Silvera, where we're going to be actually managing people's portfolios, and we're going to have these AI agents to be automatically do portfolio management and rebalancing of the actual portfolios. So that's just some examples of where AI and blockchain are being combined together. So let's get to the individuals on the call here. Where do you start? If you're new to AI and also blockchain, or you've dabbled a little bit in AI, for example, you've got ChatGPT, and you may be exploring in there, just from our experience, where you want to start is identify the opportunity. Like, where can AI and blockchain make the biggest impact in your business? Being as an example here. So at Troon Technologies, we've in the past year and a half, we've deployed an AI co-pilot for our developers. It's called Windsurf. Now, we started small with that project where we had only a couple seats of that, but now we have pretty much the whole development crew on this. And we've seen up to 30 to 40% efficiency on that, meaning that we've reduced the amount of hours to code in a particular project due to these great AI coding tools. So we started small. So definitely you want to start small so you can prove out your ROI, which is what we did. And then we started actually adding more seats for that particular project there. So that's what we would suggest you to do. And then once you've got your proof of concept in place, then you partner with experts. We'd like to say Troon would be one of those experts that can help you navigate that business transformation. So we're now at the point of, the question period. If you've been typing in your questions, I can answer some of the questions that people might have there. So I might prompt Iman to come on to ask some questions that we're getting from the community here.
Hi, Jeff. So thank you so much for that amazing session. We do have some questions lined up. Let's start with the first one. What are the biggest roadblocks preventing businesses from unlocking the full power of AI and blockchain? And how can they turn these obstacles into opportunities?
Sure. Yeah, it's a fairly common thing that we come across. That's partly the reason why people are engaging with Troon, is that they don't know where to start and where the roadblocks. So when it comes to AI in particular, have a open concept managerial wise from the top down. So make it open that people should explore into AI tools such as ChatGPT. Believe it or not, a lot of organizations we're finding are actually they're blockers. They don't want to deploy, or they're fearful of AI, and actually trying to alleviate that and actually making it a welcome thing for people to explore and try out AI tools is one of those things. From the blockchain perspective, you got to get clear on what your goals are, what you're wanting to achieve. Blockchain isn't for everyone. It definitely has its use cases, but if trust is one of those things that you are trying to solve in your business, definitely blockchain can help with that. I'll give you an example of someone that we've recently engaged with. Someone that is in the car dealership space. They buy car fleets from existing fleets out there, and they have a real problem with their getting the actual titles from the actual from the cars that are being sold to them, and it takes them sometimes months to actually get the titles. What they're looking to deploy now is an actual vehicle title digital identity solution, which is going to be an NFT. So this is a non-fungible token type of deployment that they're going to do in there. And so they're going to be starting small with one fleet to do that, but they're trying to address just a very simple problem that they have with blockchain that way. And Imam, sorry, what your next question was, what was the some of the roadblocks, but what was the other question?
How can they turn these obstacles into opportunities?
Oh, great question. So turning those obstacles into opportunities is, first of all, again, I go back to you have to have a clear culture and also management that needs to see this clearly, that they need to make this change. So starting there, if you don't get the buy-in from the company at the top, you're not going to go anywhere. And then from there, turning that into a culture change, a mindset where they say that if you don't do this, you may actually go out of business. So you actually have to have a bit of a fear complex, which is that if you're not innovating here with AI and with blockchain, you're likely going to be out of business in the next 3 to 5 years, depending on your industry. But we're seeing it disrupted absolutely everywhere. Iman, what's the next question there?
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jeff. So we have another question. I'm going to start from the bottom of my list. I have Doug Wade asking you, most small businesses, B2B and B2C companies, are looking at creating efficiencies with their daily customer management, CRM. Can you recommend a process for them to follow in getting a better CRM in place utilizing AI?
Well, thank you, Doug, for that question. Near and dear to my heart, because we are doing that internally as well at Troon and facilitating that. So CRM, customer relationship management programs in the past have been quite bloated. You've got Salesforce.com to Sugar CRM to Microsoft Dynamics. And there are now new AI CRM tools that you do not have to deploy these large installations. And these AI solutions basically create workflows for you. So they actually automate these. So where would you start there, Doug, is you can actually deploy these programs very cheaply by going under so you can also get them for free for a 30-day trial. And you can deploy these solutions there. Now, integrating them into your full stack at your small business or medium-sized business can take some time there. So you need to have an integration partner that basically can help you with that. Now, what we're also seeing out there, and I think the question you're also asking, is enterprise search is becoming a big thing, being that you can you can basically have a large language model working on your own data, like a private AI for your own data. So imagine having a AI that works on your existing data that's at your company that can provide you insights, extract information from contracts from 10 years ago, and put them into a new scope of work, as an example. These are the things that are actually now out there on the marketplace. So you combine that enterprise search with your CRM solution and provide personalized engagement with prospects and clients out there. So you can do that today.
Awesome. Next, we have a question from NextGen. What percentage of businesses have adopted AI and blockchain? Is it becoming mainstream now?
You like to think so, but it's actually still very, very, very early days. The stat I read 2 months ago is that about only 10% of people are actual experts in AI, and those are people that are basically using AI 4 to 5 hours a day. The majority of people are actually right at the beginning phases of ideation and research. All I can say is it's It's similar to, if I go back on my technology years, it's a little bit like 1999 when all the pure play businesses were coming out that were basically not bricks and mortar, but they were just basically websites that were selling things, or the mobile transformation that happened in 2007, 2008, where there's just so many apps coming out and there's so many different AI tools out there. I'm right now tracking over 120 right now in my spreadsheet. And so I would say you're very early days to deploying AI solutions, but you'd be in your best interest to start deploying those AI tools sooner than later, because if you're not doing it, your competitor is definitely doing it. And that goes for us as well at Troon. We're looking over our shoulder to our competitors as well, where they're deploying AI solutions there. And so there's going to be a race to people deploying AI solutions and basically eating other people's lunch.
Alrighty. We have a bunch of more questions for you, Jeff. This is a really interactive session. So I have
Sure. Let's see what I can do.
I have Hatem here asking you, I have an AI agent for content creation. How can I expose it to other agents? Should I offer it as an API first? What is the impact on my startup finance and taxes declaration?
Well, Hatem, nice to have you here. By the way, Hatem is an incredible entrepreneur. He's got a company called Inbounder, and I use that tool all the time. And yes, you should expose your inbounder as an API, because I would love to API that into our CRM, going to Doug Wade's question. So inbounder, as an example, is it creates content for me to post on LinkedIn as well as X, as an example. It's actually kind of like a ghostwriter. So I write a subject as saying, like, what is the adoption of AI in corporations today? And it will actually go out and write an article for me, and then I'll curate it a bit there, and then I can post it on LinkedIn and X. Now that goes in Slack, but Hatem, I'd love to have that as an API that I could leverage as a technology company at Troon. I could leverage that and embed that into other people's solutions. So yes, I'd like to have that API.
Perfect. We have Alessandro Bonciani asking you, what kind of budget should one consider to integrate AI into their business?
Oh, Alessandro, back in the day. Okay, talk about supply chain and shipping. Okay, so you can start small to begin with. I would sort of budget somewhere in the range of $10,000 to $15,000 just to deploy all the AI tools. When I say AI tools, that's ChatGPT. That is, it's not on this call right now, but that's Read.ai or Fireflies. All these tools together, you want to be testing out these tools and have a bit of a strategy of how you can reduce your hours that you're putting in there for sort of manual tasks that you're doing. I know, Alessandro, from your business, if I recall, bill of lading, there's a lot of, paperwork that you have that can actually be automated by an AI agent, or do a lot of the work to just get it up to a point where you just need a human to authenticate everything. So you definitely want to start with a budget of around $10,000 to $15,000 just to test out these tools that would make sense. Going back to my slide about start small, identify the areas that would be, alleviate the biggest pain in your company. I think you have a lot of paperwork in your business, if I recall. So that's where I'd start.
Alrighty. We have another question. Industries like finance and healthcare are rapidly adopting blockchain, but many traditional sectors are still hesitant. What's holding them back, and what will be the tipping point for mass adoption?
My personal opinion, it's fear. And I've seen this over and over again in my technology experience, is that humans in general, they just fear things at first, and then they deny it. So they go, oh no, this can't replace me, or this can't, I don't like using the word replace. This can't be better than me. And then they find out, oh, actually, it can be just as good as me, or even better. And if you've had any exchanges with a chatbot that's extremely good, on a website, you start going, is this a human or is this actually, an AI? You're not sure. And I had that experience actually recently with, so on the blockchain, I do my cryptocurrency exchanges on crypto.com. So it's a exchange there. And I was buying, I forget what it was, maybe it was Bitcoin. And I had a problem with my wallet. And I went on and I engaged with, I thought, a customer service agent. And it was pretty darn good until it started repeating a couple of things. I went like, okay. And I asked it, say, are you an AI agent or are you a human? And it just said, I'm a part of the actual customer service team. So I think it was an AI agent. So why do I mention these things here is that, you can deploy these tools fairly simply and cheaply, about and create a great customer experience from there. So I don't know if I answered that question appropriately. What was the question again there, Iman? I just want to make sure it's accurate.
Sure. So it was industries like finance and healthcare rapidly adopting blockchain. How many, what's holding them back, and what will be the tipping point for them to adopt it?
Yeah, sorry, I went off in my little vignette there. But all I can say right now, especially in AI, all the industries are being disrupted. There isn't one that I haven't found that hasn't been interrupted. Maybe plumbing, maybe agriculture in certain ways because there's certain manual parts of that, but regardless, it's all coming for every single industry. And again, the single biggest reason why certain ones is usually because of culture. They may not be technology first. So healthcare can be a little technical. Definitely finance is technical, and it's about time that it gets disrupted and that they actually have ways to go around the middleman. So I think all industries are coming on. It's just, there's a great statement, which is like the future is here. It's just not evenly distributed. And that's the case in here with your question about different industries not adopting quick enough.
Awesome. All right. Last but not the least, we have another question. What's the wildest misconception you've heard about AI or blockchain that's stopping businesses from jumping right in?
Well, I'm just thinking about the AI side of things. The wildest one. I mean, the thing is, it's not too wild because everything is sort of science fiction becoming true. But I guess the wildest one I'll say from a blockchain perspective is, well, I call them wild because some people mainstream think that blockchain and crypto is just a scam, and couldn't be further from the truth on this. I'll just take blockchain or Bitcoin as an example. This thing has been incredibly resilient, and you have seen one after another of the top people in finance that were naysayers to Bitcoin that are now on board. And I think there's only a handful. Maybe Buffett, Jamie Dimon are the only two people that I know are remaining. Everybody else is on board with Bitcoin. Why? Is because it's extremely solid, and you cannot mess with it. There's going to be 21 million Bitcoins that are going to be out there in the market eventually, and they're not all out there yet. And you cannot mess with that. You cannot print more, which is one of the biggest problems that you have out there. So I'd say that's one of the wildest ones. AI, I'd have to think about that, the wildest one, because I have a hard time there, Iman, because almost everything's coming true with regard to AI. Like there isn't one experience that I can't say like, it's wild. I'm saying I think it's all out there. All right, Carrie's coming in with one here. One last one here. What did she say there?
So she said, what's the most interesting or innovative business use case you've encountered in the blockchain space?
I would say, well, it's a combination. So I've always loved digital identity that is going to be on your phone, and the digital identity basically will be connected to a wallet that will have your entire life. And this is where AI comes in as well. So what I mean by your entire life, every single thing you've bought, everything you've done, it's tracking you through your Google Maps to whatever that is out there. And it all is built into your digital identity that is on the blockchain. Why is that a good thing? Is because you get to control that. Because again, going back to the blockchain principle, that's tamper-proof. Okay, so, but there's going to be companies that want to basically provide rewards to you or give you things based on your data itself. So that's probably the biggest problem that I think could be solved there with the blockchain, and also one of the innovative projects is having your digital identity and a wallet with all your transaction information built into that. And that is the future. Like, I'll just give one example here. I say this all the time. When you buy a house, it is an extraordinary long process, lots of paperwork, and it should be just the tap of your phone saying, yep, that's who I am. Here are all my contracts here. And it should be just a smart contract that's rolled up into the title deed of your house, is just transferred from one person to another, and it should just be instantaneous. Now, we have that technology that is already being proven out to do those things. The only thing that is stopping this, going to one of the previous guests' comments, the only thing that's stopping that is really bureaucracy and change in the real estate industry. So I was a little bit verbose on that one, but pretty passionate about the digital identity with a wallet with all your transactions in it.
Awesome. She says she loves that example. Thank you so much for all your answers in this amazing session, Jeff. Let's wrap it up.
All right. Well, thanks, everyone. I really appreciate all the time that you spent on here. Please engage with me or my team if you have any more questions, or you can reach me at jeff@troontechnologies.com, and we'll send out a quick thank you to everyone via email with that information as well. Thanks, everyone.